conduct public business. In this regard, council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's sign, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for purpose of clarification. Council members can offer comments on the speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5-minute time. Anyone up for public comments? Save some questions for the way it's on.
I'm just playing anybody got in front of me and I didn't do this.
Afraid to run them over.
Public Works here
Marty
for
stayed
road
home because you almost ran her over.
Alexander Costa, 2950 Route 7. All right, I just want to jump right into the agenda. Resolution 213-2026. How will these funds be used? 214-2026. Where will these funds be used for within the township? 215-2026. What is the additional UEZ funding for, and how much is the total? And are there any projects that these funds will be used for? 216-2026. How much is the grant going to be that we are applying for? 217-2026. What issues are with the current HVAC control system that prompted the need for this project? And was this project a competitive bid? And also, I understand that the libraries are county, but the building is township owned. Were there any good faith efforts to try and get a 50-50 split of the cost of this HVAC unit with the county? No, your laugh is definitely appropriate. 219-2026. What prompted the township to develop a community energy plan at this time? What will the objectives of this plan be? And how will the township implement the recommendations once the plan is complete? 220-2026. What circumstances made for the change order necessary? Does this change order increase the contract cost extent to the completion date, or both? Will this be the final change of the order for the change order for the project? 221-2026. What work is included in change order number 1? What is the dollar amount of the change order? Is the project on schedule within the budget? Do you know how much the project? Do you know how much of the project is completed as of yet? 222-2026. What recreational improvements or programs are being proposed through this grant? If awarded, what is the projected timeline for implementation? 223-2026. What additional work is being added through this contract amendment? Does this contract affect the timeline of the project? Is the additional engineering costs eligible for reimbursement through the grant? What is the total amount of the NB5 contract after this amendment? How much is the bill list? We like to ask that question. How much is the bill list, and are there any cost savings that the council or administration would be able to highlight before the cost of the bill list is read out? And I just have a few questions. End statement. Mr. Dewey, thank you for getting Public Works to go over and fill the pothole in front of the McDonald's. That was absolutely wonderful that you got it done. Oh, and Ken Gerber, thank you for that. Now we just got to get the pothole in front of the Burger King entrance taken care of if it has not already been taken care of. Also, the street sign right there at where Route 70 and PL is, Route 70 and Washington Boulevard, or whatever it is. The sign is completely faded. Would we be able to have Public Works go out and replace it? I think it's a township sign. Also, what is the timeline to start the Mirror Lake Dam project? Do we also have any updates on Sycamore Hall? And I just wanted to briefly announce that I am running for the Charter Study Commission. And for anybody that has signed so far, thank you. And I will look forward to anyone else who would like to sign my petition. and I look forward to your support, but signing the petition is only one piece of the puzzle. We also need you to vote for the 5 people that do get onto the ballot, and we need you to come to these commission meetings. They are vitally important. We need your input so that we can make an informed and appropriate decision. And thank you.
Alex, if we answer all those questions, there's absolutely no reason for anybody else to come up front tonight.
No, you save everyone time.
I know what you do for the last 5 days since this thing came out.
You're wrong, Bookie. You're wrong. Okay. Sure, go with that one first, Carl.
Yeah, I'll take care of the bill list since I looked over it pretty thoroughly. The total bill list this time is $4,011,029.84. Of that, 90% of that is just the school taxes and our JIF payment. The actual amount on regular township business is only $405,000. So it's the school and the JIF payments that are really kicking us in the butt hard.
Concur.
All right, 213, so 123 of these grant money that we get every year. That's used for various projects like the different fall and spring cleanup projects that they're doing all the different sections of town. And then when they have the events at the National Night Out, the farmers market and stuff like that, they have a tent there which they put up stuff for the residents and stuff. And the DEP recycle tonnage grant, sometimes we buy recycle trash cans, bins and stuff like that, yeah. 215, that's just, we're just putting that money, I mean, usually we develop projects all the time, and we have to ask for, we have to put in a proposal and stuff and ask for that, that's this year's allotment that Candace is looking to put, all these are just being put into the fund. That's basically what that is. 216, the Leary grant is $22,463.05. And I'm gonna turn 219 over the road, that's that the grant we received for getting somebody to do a project for us.
So that we had received $25,000 to hire a consultant to start an energy plan. We have a few ideas, but this is the start of the process. Once we have the consultant, we can actually apply for a larger amount of money, I believe it was up to $500,000. So we're going to be working on something that has to do with one of the township projects. That's all this is.
And 220 and 21, I believe that falls under Jen's.
So these were for additional paving work that needed to be done for both of the South Lake Shore Phase 3 and Phase 4 projects. Both of the change orders were within the amount of the grant, so we have not exceeded the amount of the grant. Both projects are fully paid. We're just waiting for a firm date, which should be in the next week or so. Don't quote me on that, because I'm waiting for the contractor to confirm, to come out and finish the guide rail that needs to be installed along the road, and then once that is done, both of those projects will be completed.
Right, and 222, and don't hold me to the exact number, it's a grant we're applying for, I believe it's $20,000, disability projects through the rec department, and we have to match, I believe, 40,000. So, but we're just applying for that grant. Okay. 2023. Now, you want to know how much that makes the total amount of the project?
Yeah.
It was additional scope of work, we refused to pay for it, we went back to DEP and they decided to pay for it. What the total amount of the project is, I don't remember, I think it's 400-some thousand total amount of the project. It's as close as I can get. And I think we've answered everything, and we did it quicker than you guys.
The street sign,
Street sign.
it's where the PL entrance is, the flower bed on the If you're coming down Route 70 and you turn right due Yale, it's right there in the flower bed.
What'd you say, Washington?
Washington Boulevard and Route 70.
Okay. Row will send somebody a request.
And what about Seymour Hall? Anything up there?
Not at this time, I don't think anything, Kentucky. Right.
If I had the money, I'd buy it. I'd give it right to Marie.
Okay.
Use it as tax revenue. Oh, and I'm also glad that you guys had the contract negotiation. 18 months is.
Thank you, Alice. Yes, young lady, come on up. Good to see you. How's it going?
It's very well. Thank you for inviting me. Okay, so, good evening, council members and everyone here tonight. My name is Madison Johnson. I'm a student and FFA member. I was invited by Mr. Harry Harper, so thank you so much for inviting me. Tonight I'm here to talk about something that has changed my life, the community garden I started at the Christian Caring Center. Most people look at the garden and see vegetables, flowers, soil, and plants, but instead I see hope, I see healing, I see second chances. I see a place where people can come together no matter where they come from or what they have been through. The garden isn't just about growing food, it's about growing people. So one of the greatest lessons volunteering has taught me is that every person has a story. People don't simply just wake up in the morning and decide to become homeless. Life can take unexpected turns. Some people have lost jobs, lost families, some struggle with addiction, and some struggle with mental illness. Others have experienced trauma that many of us may never fully understand. Someone who is hoping that one person will look past their circumstances and remind them that their life still has value. So the portion of me coming up here and being invited was to speak about the garden. The garden isn't just about growing crops or anything like that, but I want to provide a space for children and people young and old to get that experience to do gardening and have education about it, because I do FFA and I learned about agriculture education, and I know there's 4-H and other things around this area, but I wanted something that was more of a closer thing instead of commuting all the way out to other areas. So this space is going to be, it's 52 by 24, but the space is for anybody in the community who wants to volunteer. So I would like to come up here to tell you guys that if you know that anybody who wants to volunteer or help out, that they can come to the Christian Caring Center. It's 378 Lakehurst Road in Browns Mills, and it's a spot for people to get those volunteer hours, get mentored like I got the experience and I still am. And then not only for them to know that, but the homeless people this is really what the garden project is for. It's to help them out so that instead of looking down on them or just giving them out resources, sometimes you have to connect with them. So I know a lot of people see that they get a lot of resources sometimes and they're offered, but sometimes it takes the community to take that extra step to go side by side with them. So I came up here and I would like to say that if anybody wants to help and support or volunteer, they can come to the Christian Caring Center and come reach out. We're open from 10 to 3 Monday through Friday, so at any time. And the garden is really looking for anybody who wants to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, a very remarkable young lady, that's why I invited her here tonight. And she's doing an excellent job over there. And, you know, although I'm proud of our community garden, she puts ours to shame.
Dear Mayor,
Township Council members and Recreation Department. My name is Ashley Parker, and I am writing to respectfully request the support of Pemberton Township in establishing a competitive youth cheerleading program that will serve the children and families of our community. For nearly 6 years, I proudly coached with Champion Force Athletics, where I helped develop athletes both on and off the mat. Alongside my dedicated assistant coaches, I had the honor of leading our team to numerous state competitions. York and Allentown, PA, the Poconos are just a few. The Division III squad placed first for the first time for Pemberton, and we received our first national bid to Kentucky, which we had the best team behind us. Mr. Dewey, Mr. Doyle, Mr. Herring, and Mr. Matt, where we came home with second place. An achievement that reflected the athletes' hard work, commitment, and dedication and determination. That experience inspired me to bring the same level of opportunity and excellence to the youth of Pemberton Township. My goal is to create an all-competitive cheerleading squad that gives local athletes the opportunity to train, compete, and grow in a positive environment. We're proudly representing Pemberton Township at local, regional, and national competitions. This program will focus on athletic excellence, leadership, teamwork, discipline, confidence, and community pride. To make this vision a reality, I respectfully request the township support in the following ways: an official endorsement of the Pemberton Township Competitive Cheer Program, permission to use township facilities for practices, clinics, and community events, consideration for financial assistance, grant opportunities, and sponsorship to help offset startup costs, equipment, uniforms, and competition expenses. Uniform packages ranging to $100 to $200. Insurance is to be determined. Equipment needed is maxed that usually range $800 or less. Assistance with promoting the program to local families through township communication channels and community events. My vision is to create an affordable and acceptable program that gives every child who has the passion and commitment to compete the opportunity to do so. Regardless of financial circumstances, I believe this program will become a source of pride for our township by providing young athletes with opportunities to build confidence, develop lifelong skills, and represent our community with integrity and excellence. I would be grateful for the opportunity to meet with you to discuss this proposal in greater detail and share my plans for building a successful, sustainable program that will possibly impact the youth of Pemberton Township for years to come. Thank you for your time, consideration, and dedication to serving our community. I appreciate your support and look forward to the community to work together to provide our young athletes with a program they can call their own. Thank you.
Ash, sorry, can I follow with the question?
Yes, go ahead.
Ash, you understand you did have a meeting with Recreation, say, finally after a few weeks.
Correct.
Was it fruitful?
Yes.
Promising?
Promising, not as promising as I would like it to be, but I'm willing to work with whoever I can to get this going. As you see, I have my one little girl, Bella, her mom. They actually started a petition from the old program. I have Miss Campbell, her daughter's on my squad as well, and as you see, Lindsay. So I have a lot of girls who want this, and I'm ready to bring it to Pemberton.
So my question for you on this is, are there towns around us that have something like this? Because I know we never have, right? On the level you're looking to go to?
No, not on the competition level. I do know that, she's saying Willenboro, but I'm not exactly sure if they're competitive or not. So I don't think Pemberton ever has, other than PAL back in the older days, but that's no longer here, so.
Well, as far as my question went for that, then that would be a good answer is what I wanted to hear. So my next question would be, it's a Pemberton Township-based cheer program, but will we be able to bring girls in from surrounding communities that also don't offer the same thing to expand this program?
Yeah, I would love that. I would bring them, just bring whoever. Doesn't matter from where, as
So
long as they're.
my comment on that would be, I think we need to have a follow-up appointment with Mr. Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Sounds like a plan.
I'll be dealing with the other little hiccup you had, but that's gonna be face-to-face, not by telephone.
Okay.
But, please keep me in the loop. I'd
Yes.
like to see this thing come to fruition. If I could ask all of you to get together and come up the list you were talking about of the startup expenses.
Mhm.
If you guys could get a pretty good number on that, it would be really nice when you sat down so that, everybody knows, you know, what we're looking at as far as that goes, and to see if this is something that the township's able to get involved in with you
Okay.
to help you get started.
And I do know I do have a lot of, fundraising ideas, so if it can't, we can always do that. We're willing to work hard for it. We're definitely not gonna give up, so I'm ready.
Wish you luck, thank you.
Thank you.
Ashley,
Yes.
we helped the girls get to Kentucky,
Yes.
okay? So why don't we jump in and get our girls to Pemberton? You know, whatever.
I'm in agreement.
Well, we have to make it happen, you know? She's working with these girls, they're all good-looking girls, and they're all gonna go to college, and we wanna see them. Last time, we brought home a second, next time we're gonna
Which
get
is,
first.
it was literally, Pemberton's first time.
We gotta wrap our hands around the youth of this town, and,
You know what, and Danny, what you're saying is just this town, yes, but what I'm looking forward to doing is maybe having something where Southampton residents, Springfield residents, the residents around us come to Pemberton for something for change.
That's
You know, we're
fine.
talking about bringing businesses and things that bring other people into Pemberton to spend their money here. This would be a great way to put us on the map.
I agree, but we gotta get our program going, and we gotta wrap our arms around this and, fight. Gotta
Right.
take care of these girls,
I'm ready.
and they're gonna put us on the map.
Y'all ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
Ready, Bella?
We're definitely gonna see what we can do for you, you know, we helped you in the past,
And I couldn't be more grateful. Like, you guys did awesome with us, and we appreciate everything you guys have done.
yeah, I don't
Everything.
I know, Ro and I will probably try to get ahold of Kendall tomorrow and see, what we can, work with, and, Kendall has your number, I'm sure, so.
Yes.
You'll be hearing from someone,
Okay.
all right?
All right, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
It's not union stuff. But I was listening to that young lady talk, so we'll put this on the record. Ryan Pittman, 7 Borough Lane, Browns Mills, New Jersey. I myself, along with some people in this room, brought Little League to Pemberton Township many years ago. It's a thriving program, we're very proud of it. And I heard her talking about funding. So I'm gonna bring this up tonight. The last time I brought this up to the dais, there really wasn't much interest in what I'm about to say, but we have a whole new dais with a whole new set of politics. She brought up an old organization called PAL. Me and a few other individuals pleaded with the old mayor and council to bring that money back that was stolen from the families in this town. Many years ago, the money was stolen. And the money was stolen, and the person who had taken the money was ordered to pay restitution, and all that restitution was paid back. Now, all that money is supposed to be sitting in an account that should have never been touched. Our police department did the investigation. To no avail, to this day, we don't know what happened in that investigation, but I know that money's still sitting there. That is from the hardworking families that fundraised, that paid money into that program. PAL covered cheerleading, football, basketball, baseball. We all played them. And that money's sitting there for these kids. And all it's gonna take is somebody to cross the line here and go get that money. And it won't be hard. You can go right to the police department and get all the information you want on that. And you can talk to the Berwick County Prosecutor's Office, and they'll tell you if that money should have been spent on anything. Because obviously PAL died back in 2000, 2001, I think that was the end of it. But the checks kept coming in, and the checks kept getting cashed to a defunct organization, the restitution checks. So I did talk to Mr. Bunsen about it, and you can have a conversation with him. I think he did speak to somebody in administration or the police station. But that money's there, you know, for the kids, for all the programs. I know you were.
He had softball,
Yeah.
and she's cheer commissioner.
So there's probably about $80,000 there for the kids. Who wants to go get it? That's all I got.
Right here.
Thank you, Ryan, we'll check into it.
Brian, can you give us backup so, to find out what direction to go to and,
I can, I'm not gonna say their name out loud,
No,
but
no,
the people
no.
that were involved in it, I'm sure if they knew the township was going to go after this money for the kids, they would give you all the information they had and everything that we went through, and, you know, we tried to get it, but to no avail. The police investigation, it didn't go anywhere.
Maybe tomorrow you can give that information to the DA and we can look into it a little further.
That's good. So,
Thank-
but there's a lot of funds there for the kids for all the sport programs.
let's get on it.
All right,
Thank
that's
you.
all I got.
Anyone else for public comment?
Arlene Alexander for Chipmunk Run. Just quickly, I was at the town hall meeting last night. It was a great meeting, but from that meeting, I had a chance to talk with Marty, and since she's not here, I'm going to announce that she has an event coming up Friday, July 17th, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Reflection Park. Is Better, Safer Streets. And we have a petition going on to have a traffic study so that we can possibly get some speed bumps or some type of speed elimination along South Lake Shore, and then take it to other communities like North Lake Shore, Clubhouse Road. But we want to start with, since we both live on South Lake Shore, we want to start with South Lake Shore. And I think that is a great thing to come out and sign a petition, because just coming here, I saw 3 dead geese, 3 in a row, which means someone just zoomed right over it. And that's horrible. And also kids are in the road riding their bikes and walking. There are no sidewalks. So we really need people to slow down, so please come out and sign a petition.
Where is that event happening at?
Reflection Park.
Reflection Park? What time is that?
8 a.m. to 8 a.m.
All right, thank you very much.
Hi, Marie Reynolds, Horizon Road, Browns Mills. I hate to be negative, but I'm gonna hit the one area that Alex didn't address, the rejection of the sole bid received for the Mirror Lake Light Replacement project. That was one of the first initiatives of the Business and Economic Development Committee. A lot of work went into that, and my understanding is that part of the problem with the bid was that, and I'm not disparaging our engineer's office at all. I mean, like, I really, I'm not.
It wasn't me anyway.
Wasn't
Okay,
outside
I-
engineer.
So you're good.
Okay, all right. I happen to think she's like one of the sharpest pencils in our administrative box. She always has a really well-reasoned answer for everything. But it's my understanding that there's a possibility that the bids were too high because there were lights added to the initial project to go in front of the new shopping center. Now, that wasn't anything that we spec'd out when we worked on the initial project. The lights only went from Mirror Lake up Juliustown Road and over to CVS. It didn't go any further than that. So, my question is twofold. Number one, why was that added? And number two, why would we pay for the landscaping and street lighting and why would Horizon not pay for that? Why would the township take up that responsibility for this new development, for the new shopping center. Why wouldn't that have been bid separately or been provided by them, you know, if they were gonna jump on this bid? So that's very upsetting, because a couple of the initiatives that we've come up with through the Business and Economic, and I'm not representing them in speaking tonight at all. We have a president of the group, but what I am going to tell you is that we've worked on a couple of projects, and for one reason or another, they are not able to come to fruition. You know, the canoe, the kayak rental that we looked at, which sounded like such a great idea. We put in for a UEZ grant, and because a portion of that money for the kayak rentals would be coming back to the township, it wasn't eligible. That was like a relatively small cost that would have provided our residents to just go to a kiosk and open it and take out a kayak to rent. And there was an initial cost of $30,000 to do that. So that's the first, I'm sorry, but that's the first thing that I've been like perseverating about this all week long. And I'd like to know if that's going to proceed in any way, shape, or form, because it was a project that was designed to bring highlight to the lake. It was, you know, that's our keystone of this community. It's where it all started. And on that note as well, the boards were taken down off the front doors of Sycamore Hall in the last few days. Someone has been doing their laundry by putting it on the banisters in the rain, and then, you know, collecting it all afterwards. There's been a shopping cart from the Acme filled with clothing in front of it, and, you know, as we highlight our summer season at the lake, that's what people have to pass by to get to the lake. And the boards have been taken down, so obviously they're back in that building again. And that's my sad story for tonight. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you.
Maria, as far as the bid rejection, unfortunately, because it's DCA money, Ro and I worked with the engineer to try to, you know, cut it out and just do the part that we had money for, but DCA says we have to reject this bid and resubmit, the next proposal, so that we can move forward. They control the money, so we have to do it according to their regulations. And we're still trying to go forward with it, and as soon as we do this tonight, probably by the next meeting, we will probably be resubmitting out a new proposal, for the next meeting.
So time frame, we don't know. Next year now?
I'm still hoping we can get, the better part of it done this year. It's just, we have to follow the DCA regulations. Ro and I tried to do what we could to work around it, but, we have to follow their rules with their money. As far as the shopping center, we had always agreed to supply the lights. And remember, we just talked with the developer today, that they are putting in the electric and stuff for the lights. We're just supplying the lights and the trash cans.
Is that typical?
What's that?
Is that typical?
That was, what was negotiated in the deal was more than that originally. The former administration had originally proposed to do all the sidewalks and curves and stuff. And we negotiated to just the lighting, since we knew we had a lighting project going on. So we will be continuing with that. Sycamore Hole, I'm sure we'll be looking into that. We had a discussion just yesterday, I think, about it, and told police to keep an eye on it. So,
There have been 2 recent reports of people running naked on the front lawn early in the morning.
yes, they were reported to the police.
Yeah. Thank you.
Who decided to do Horizon Lake deal with the Mirror Lake project?
The engineering firm was looking, was just figured we were doing that project. They were supposed to originally keep it as a separate line item, and if they had done that, then we could have went forward with what we did, and we tried to talk the state into that, but they said, no, you gotta reject and resubmit.
Well, why don't we get them to back that out of that? So we can get Mirror Lake done.
Well, we have to reject this bid.
Okay.
DCA is making us do it this way, Dan. Believe me, Ron and I tried to
Okay.
do it.
I just don't understand how it happened. Really clear.
So let me just jump in here. The Pemberton, Commons was always part of that state money. That was the original project, because it's in the redevelopment zone. We expanded that project when we recouped the money that we were gonna lose, the $440,000. We recouped that project and we added the bridge and, the lights that are gonna go from the bridge down to Pemberton Commons. So that money was always allocated to Pemberton Commons. We weren't gonna allow them to use the entire amount. So that's when we revised everything, and Harry's right, we did speak to them today, and they're doing all the electric work, physically just handing them the lights that we want, because we want them to be uniform, and the trash cans.
Okay. The other question I had is, can we get the police there tomorrow at Sycamore Hall and rip them people out of the building and get our people to board it up, put signs on it, and bring those people into court?
Okay, so we met with the owner of the property, or I'll say representative, last week, and she indicated to us that they received a check from the insurance company to redo the doors and the windows, so they were taking the boards off. She did indicate that she was having some problems with people trying to get in there. They were gonna do a better job, but I will reach out to the chief of police tomorrow, and Kenny's obviously here tonight.
I mean, they're bad amigos. They defaulted on their development agreement. And Greg, I don't know, these people have to be punished one way or another. They had a signed agreement, they were supposed to meet 3 plateaus in a short amount of time with that building, and they did nothing. And I don't know if we have any recourse, but we gotta take action.
Well, if you remember, the township rescinded that redevelopment agreement, so that's no longer on the table.
Yeah, well, they defaulted on it, you know, I mean, should be able to find a loophole to put them in jail and get some money out of them. But I would get the cops there, clean it out, board it up, put some red stickers on it. Put guard dogs over there. Alright.
Anyone else for public comment?
Good evening. Susan Sacco, Sunbury Village. Good evening, Mayor, Council and administration. My name is Susan, I live in Sunbury Village, and I have a few questions regarding tonight's agenda. A few of them Alex already asked, but I'm going to ask it in relation to Sunbury Village. So first, I noticed that the township is receiving several grants, including the Clean Community Grant, the Recycling Tonnage Grant, and the UEZ funding. Could somebody briefly explain how these funds will be used, and whether any of these projects will directly benefit Sunbury Village? Second, regarding the bond ordinance on the Phase 1 new Lisbon water system improvement, could someone please explain whether the project is only for township municipal water, or is it going to include New Jersey American water, which is what we use in Sunbury Village? I would also appreciate hearing which areas of the township will benefit from these improvements. I'd like to thank council for continuing to pursue grant funding. Every dollar that the township receives through grants helps reduce the burden on the local taxpayer, and I appreciate those efforts. Finally, I'd like to let everyone know, as Alex did, I intend to put my name forward as a candidate for the Charter Study Commission, and I believe it's an opportunity to learn, listen to the residents, and help evaluate what form of government will best serve Pemberton's future. If any of the residents have any questions about the Charter Study Commission or are interested in supporting my petition, I will be happy to speak with you after the meeting. Thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you. Susan, as far as the different grants, the Clean Community Grant, as I told Alex remarks earlier. That goes into every spring and fall. We have different community cleanups in the different neighborhoods. That helps. No, I believe we do something that goes out of the out of the Nesbitt Center. I haven't been down there lately, but I think they have one at least in the spring and fall. And then our other events we have at the farmers market, National Night Out. They have a booth that they have giveaways for the children and they have information about the clean community stuff. The DEP recycling tonnage grant, we use that for sometimes buying new trash cans, stuff like that. Usually, we have to put in requests, even though they allot us that amount of money. We have to pick a project. It can only be used in UEZ areas, which is the downtown, Brownsville.
Are these grants what was used by the previous administration to do the one-way?
I'm not sure what grants they used for that project, And then, the other, New Lisbon Water Project, that is, we put a new well in around the old prison site. We're running a new main water line from there up to our water tower to supply.
So that's Pemberton Township.
Pemberton Township, nothing to do with New Jersey American.
Yeah, New Jersey American Water has their own pumps in the ground, they pump their own water up into the Holden site for you guys down there.
And the sewer that's in Sunbury Village, they're taking out that, what do you call it, the building that's there? You know where this?
Yes, yes, pump station number 3,
Yes.
we're doing upgrades to pump station number 3. So the pump station will still remain, it's just gonna look different when it's done.
What, the gentleman because I was walking the neighborhood this morning, and he had informed me that they were gonna take down the old
That the
building.
existing building that is there is going to come down and you will get a new, I'm not sure the proper terminology to call it, it's more of a, it will look more like a small shed, like that you would have in the back of your house, that would
He said
contain.
it was gonna look better.
It will look better than it is there, but yes, it will look like a small shed and it will house all of the equipment for the pump station and there'll be a new generator there as well.
Now, the over 55 plan that was.
Get back to the mic if you're gonna,
Oh,
I mean.
I'm sorry. They were talking before with the over 55 behind Wawa.
Greenberg project.
Yes. Is that gonna be an issue with the water as well? That's gonna be Pemberton water?
It's, we're buying the water from Pemberton Borough and reselling it to the residents, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Evening. We recently experienced a power outage, as we all know. And I had a few questions about the township plans in place and response. When I immediately went online, the only cooling center listed at the time was the library. And of course, the library was closed for a holiday weekend, and it didn't list anything else. When I went this morning, now there are 2 other locations listed, the high school and the firehouse. But my question is, how do we get that information out to the residents? First off, when are they going to be activated? Because if someone's sitting at home without power, it's a little difficult to tell them where to go. So I don't know, do we have a pre-plan in place that distributes this information before we run into the situation where there's no power? And the fact that the high school Someone certainly has to have transportation, and with the numbers of retirees in the township, I'm not sure if that's a viable solution for the township. I mean, getting out there might be a problem, especially if we're looking at, and I'm talking now just a heat. I mean, we're getting heat like we've never had before. This is extreme with a number of days. I mean, triple digits, not in my lifetime until this summer where we've had that many number of days. So it's become an issue, and I think we have to start educating our residents, but more than that, putting some plan together and how to get that information out to the people. Not everyone's going to have a computer. If there's no power, they won't have the ability to connect. I don't have the answers, but I do have questions about that because I guess there was a couple of hundred deaths attributed to the heat in New Jersey in the last go-around. I think that's what I saw online. I would expect some people would have expired just due to the high heat, but that's more in the cities. But I think for our residents, we should be having some thought given to what their fallback would be. And even the people that we have out here that are homeless. I mean, 100-degree heat, it's gonna kill somebody if they're not in good health and have enough hydration around them. So I bring it to your attention that I think it needs to be thought through and addressed. Craig Augustoni wasn't here this evening. I was going to ask him if he had any plans somewhere in the pocket or if there had been discussions. But that's my concern, and it looks like, you know, this is not going to be unusual anymore. It seems like every summer we get more hot days in excessive heat over the last number of years, and that seems to be the way it's heading. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention and maybe consideration about how do we get that information distributed and maybe have more cooling centers available, and being able to get that information out to the people that need it, that yeah, there's some place they can go and they're not just sitting in their house, no air conditioning, no fan, and cooking in there.
I think part of the problem was, I know if you have a smartphone, if you have the township website on your phone, it was on there, but it was so much territory with people without electric, and that's probably one of the reasons why they picked the school out on Armies Mount Road, because that's basically on the borderline of Springfield Township. And I know the other one was Country Lakes Firehouse, but I mean, there was a lot of people out of electric. TL was all out, 3/4 of Country Lakes was, Lakehurst Road, you know, and, you know, if you don't have electric, you don't have a computer, but if they got their smartphones, they should block the Pemberton Township website, because I saw it on there, at the polling stations, you know, I mean, they kept us up to date quite a bit, you know. But, you know, if there's no electric, the signs that we put up all over town aren't gonna work, you know, so it's something that we gotta work on, there's no doubt, but it was an unusual situation.
One place, I guess, to get that information out would be through the senior center. I mean, that's a location where people are in and out of there, but.
Again, you said it was a holiday weekend.
Yep.
So that made a problem, as Mr. Dewey alluded. We set up those centers according to where there was still power in the town. Yeah, and we had them on our website, and you know, everybody carries a hand computer anymore, so you know, are able to get that. There's only so much we can do. I mean, it seems like these emergencies happen on holiday weekends, and you know, only multiply the problem. Yeah, but I believe they did a pretty good job. They had them manned, you know, pretty quickly when they decided to man them up and stuff. And I believe not that many people utilize them. I don't know the total numbers, but, you know, they were there. And, you know, the next storm, depending on where the problem is, the cooling stations may be different, you know, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes we utilize this building, but this building is out of power and stuff, you know, so, yeah.
The problem is, yes, everybody's walking around with one on their hip. Most people. Some people have a lousy signal when they use a home Wi-Fi. And that's the end of that. So it's a matter of, I think some thought has to be put into it. Right now it's heat, but it's anything, getting information out to the people. And maybe ahead of time, putting it out there and saying, hey folks, this is where you go, or this is where you can, you know, congregate to get cool or to get warm. I mean, if we run into this same situation in reverse and there's no power and there's no heat and people need places to go in an emergency, but the fact is, don't wait until the emergency. Try to make people aware of where they may go. Or, you know, any number of locations, as you're saying, they could change depending on what's going on. But at least put it out there that people would know maybe these are places they could go if they can get there. And not everybody, as we know, can get there. They depend on other people for rides. They don't have transportation. But thank you. I just wanted to bring that up.
It's gonna be like the old days when we were growing up. All the buildings were marked for bomb shelters because, you know, we grew up in the Cold War. And maybe that's something that we can talk to the emergency management, dedicate some buildings around Pemberton Township in the event that there's a flood or no electric or whatever, people can find a safe spot to go to. You know, I mean, that's something to think about. It's out of my pay grade, but we'll look into it. I think that's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It would probably be a good idea to have a general emergency center. That way no one has to think about, do I go here for heat, do I go here for cool, do I go for flood? Instead have singular locations that will always be the go-tos for the specific areas. That's probably a logical way to go about it.
Well, Mr. Harper brought up a good point. Sometimes you can't have a cooling center if there's no power, and you have to move it. And that's, but part of the problem is actually we start having to address these issues before they actually happen. Putting out that education, awareness, so that people will know where to reach out. And as I said, not everybody has transportation.
And that's why a general emergency location in each, I would say in each centralized population zone would be the best thing to do, because then you can remind people of that location over and over and over until it becomes memory.
Any of our buildings that have a generator should be the building.
Yeah.
This building's under generator.
Yep.
I don't know if the other buildings, but that's something that we can look into. You know, we have to protect our residents, and we gotta get ahead of that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Good evening, everybody in general. I got a few things in here. I'm gonna start touching in town. I traveled there almost every other day, and I noticed the Bank of America is an empty building. And the reason I'm touching the bank it is, we got a code enforcement and give it some sanctions or whatever to the people who got the homes and haven't got the loan or anything. Well, Mr. Code Enforcement, look the bank there, because if the bank owners, whatever, Doesn't matter, the law apply everybody. Money or no money. You've discussed it since they close. It's disgraceful. When the people come and walk around in town, guess what? What happened in there? Okay, I leave it there. I'm going to shop in Sycamore Hall. Sycamore Hall, we've been roaming around for a little while, and I just hope to the end the township will become owner of the place. Yeah, there is people in and out from there. This the board doesn't stop them from just removing and going. And I think that that's where right now is our time to go and start getting that building back. Because they broke all the rules, they didn't follow nothing in there. The only thing they got was $250,000, and that was it. It's it. Okay, I'm going to touch Presidential Lake right now. Like I say, I do my walking. Morning, in the afternoon, or night time, whatever. It's a lot of houses in Pierre that are empty, okay. Those empty houses, guess what? The bank are the owner or the mortgage company are the owners. Or because they pay the taxes, nobody bothered with them. Come on. I walk in there, the grass is so high, you try to walk in the back, well, you're not trespassing anyway. But, and it's a shame. When the people come and look for houses in there, they see like a dumpster. I used to have a dumpster across the street from me, but eventually now they are fixing. I'm waiting. I'm excited waiting who's coming in there. Okay, now I'm going to touch inter-presidential rights. I know that that's a state property, and I hope the township can call the state tomorrow. Remind them, when I'm hearing 70 East, and I'm coming to the inter-presidential lakes, they erase all the arrows and everything for left turn. I've been seeing people right now, they are all confused. And instead of being in the center lane, they coming out to the right lane. And the people come behind, that for a straight lane, not going turn. Can you please notify the state they have to come and put those arrows back and paint it the way it was it? I would appreciate that. Because I know we'll be accidents in there. Okay? Now I'm going to touch back in the inter-presidential lake. Like I said, I take care of that. I haven't been in there because of the heat. But I've been brought so much recycle, and I know the township got benches. Can you at least put one of the recycle benches in the inter-presidential lake, and when the people come in there and look around the entrance and walk around, they can sit down at least? I don't need it myself because I sit there, when I go there, I go to work 3-4 hours straight and go back home. But will be nice because we deserve the least a recycle bench. And I know they had it really while ago. I'm hoping that I can see one in the internet. I haven't seen it. Okay, I'm going to touch up to the person coming and speaking reference to the parish out and everything. Okay, number one, I came from the fire field. Okay, we had the power out. Presidential Lake is the last little development of Pemberton Township. When there is no electricity there, I know that a lot of people have electric. Okay, well, a lot of people didn't. Unfortunately, I do my. Okay, but the one that I want to touch is people on oxygen. When you have a building, a firehouse, that firehouse should be equipment for a kitchen, to a generator, available for the people to come in there an emergency. We have to just, not to wait for the last minute, oh, guess what, the red whale is coming tonight. Bingo. We have to be prepared. This building is going to be only for this emergency. The worst part I don't have even here in PL, there's a kitchen in the firehouse. They got a little thing in there, microwave, whatever. But previous administration stated, never will be a kitchen in there. If you want to use that building as an emergency for evacuation, you need a kitchen. How can you feed the firefighter when they go out and go in the fire and respond? How can you feed the people? You need a kitchen. As a coming for a fire field, be honest with you, the Pemberton, we not equipment for emergency. We should have a big hall special only for that. And as a taxpayer, I just hope and we can save a life in that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. And Ms. Phillips, please give any of those addresses of vacant houses to Mr. Gerber. We'll look into them.
Yes, Ms. Phillips, please do. I can assure you that we are actively working with the Bank of America right now to have that cleaned up. Some of the properties in Presidential Lake as well as threat communities are abandoned. We have last known property owners. We're doing everything that we can do to address them to get those areas cleaned up. When we can't find them after a period of time, we have to do it ourselves. So that's another expense to the taxpayer until we can recoup that money from the next owner. So please, Ms. Phillips, I've talked to you before. My phone is always on. My office is always open. Address me directly, and you can get things done a little bit faster. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Giving you house number. That's what
I got both your numbers. Okay?
Any house number I got.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Alrighty, Mike Zopka, 92 Scrapetown Road. Got a couple questions and some comments. First, last time I was here, I asked about animal control. Have there been any improvements since my last comments? Any meetings? Any discussions on how to make it better? Next, is there an email SOP, standard of operations, or policy procedures manual for employees on how to write emails that they should be signing every one of them, not hiding behind an anonymous email? And we'll get to that. Sent a Oprah request for some records from the police department. Get an email back from Oprah at PembertonPolice.com, whatever, something like that, with some verbiage. No one signed it, so who did it come from? Does the police department only have one Oprah clerk, so we know that that's the only person who can send emails from that email address? That's the only one who has the password to that, so we know who actually sent it. Every email 101 in business and government, you sign the email. You put your name of whoever put it there. They're not doing that. To me, that's cowardice. And anybody that knows me online, whenever people put on anonymous posts, I call them all cowards, keyboard cowards. Put your name on it if you're gonna write it, especially if you're a government employee. Next, communications plan. With social media, with Facebook, it seems like we've got hundreds of Facebook pages now for the Pemberton Township, different departments and everything, that they'll post something here, post something there, and we don't even know what all those pages are. One of the things was the water carnival lately. There was hardly anything on the website about it. They were posting it to a couple different Facebook pages, but no one really knows where everything is. Does Pemberton Township have a communications plan? What can and can't they do? Do we have a list of every single website, who was responsible for it, every single Facebook page, who's the admin for it, who was responsible for posting to it, so that we know where to look. Anything that goes on when a Facebook page is posting about an event in town should go on the website. There should be one central location for everything, not spread out where you have to guess and maybe you'll see a notice or not. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir.
Pat Guthrie, 317 Birmingham Road. Good evening, council, administration. I've been I'm using this from one of our other wonderful residents, but I've been here 59 years. Okay, I've been in Pemberton for a long time, and we should learn a lot from our history. I've actually been an advocate for saving our farms, saving our forest, and preserving our history. And because I've been here and I grew up here, I remember Powell. And I just, had a little gap there. My son is now 40, so there's a good 20 years that I didn't know what happened to Powell either. It's a shame to hear tonight what happened with it, that it just kind of got dissolved. But I know a lot of the younger people now from Pemberton, and they've been talking to me. I thought the water carnival was fantastic. I watched the video. I even made a statement up here at the microphone that it was really wonderful to watch. But I actually had some young residents of Pemberton come up and tell me they had to blow up a house for the kids, but in reality, there was really nothing else for the kids. A lot of kids came with their swimming suits, being that it was a water carnival, and there wasn't even a water slide or a sprinkler for the kids to run through. So that's something I'd like the council to think about. We need to bring back the programs for our kids. It's very, very important. Those programs help mold the person that I became. What I continue to do in getting into volunteer stuff as an adult for my child. I was part of PAL. I played PAL softball. My son, he played on PAL. We really need to see what we can do to get those programs back. Another thing as far as our history goes was there used to be a Pemberton Township newsletter. From what I understand, when it was the previous administration, it's too costly, they just dropped our newsletter. Not all seniors, I know we have some seniors here that do have cell phones, but those cell phones that they offer to seniors that can help them read and, the stuff comes up on the screen, if they don't have internet and their power is out, they don't have a phone. Because those phones do not run on cell minutes. Being a caregiver, I was a caregiver for my neighbor, he only had a landline. So not all seniors know what to do in emergency situations. Back, it used to be when I was a kid, we had a broadcast where we could actually broadcast Pemberton Township, just like other broadcasts come through that say, hey, if there's an emergency, this is what you need to do. I don't know what happened to that. Apparently we don't have that anymore. But what I am gonna recommend is, if we can't get a quarterly newsletter, can we at least do it every 6 months, like in the fall and the spring, ahead of time, not where the emergency is happening, and drop a flyer out to the residents of Pemberton, because then the seniors do check their mail. It's one of the few things when they're not doing anything that they like to sit down and read. And put in that newsletter what to do in case of an emergency. We can actually list what programs that we have coming out, what is happening in Pemberton, and let the people know what our wonderful council has been doing and succeeding in so much to improve this town. If we put out a newsletter that says, hey, this is what's coming, I think that it shouldn't be too much to send out this newsletter twice a year. If we could do it quarterly, that would be even probably more appreciated by the residents of the township. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there since POW was mentioned, and I was thinking of all the programs that were here when I was growing up. And these other things, this cheer program, I am so impressed by these kids that are coming up to the mic. We need to get more of our kids involved in doing things in our township. Now that I mentioned that, I just wanted to bring up, as far as looking at this before I came out, there is the applications that's being submitted for the monies for the individuals with disability. I heard you mention something about it's for $20,000 and the township's gonna match it. I think that, would that go to a vote when it's what to decide to do with that $40,000? Because I'd hate to see it sitting there. I'd like to make sure that it is going to the individuals with disabilities. 223, and I'm sorry, as far as taking time, I just want to mention that last night I did go to the town hall center, and something was brought up there, and I'd like to just address it at the council meeting. There was piles of dirt in the parking lot. Does that have something to do with these people that are asking for more money to do the sidewalks and curbs? And also on 224, I just wanted to mention the Business and Economic Committee and the Mirror Lake program that they had wanted to do. I seen the photos. I thought it was beautiful. Hopefully something becomes of that. And I think that's it. Oh, and under new business, B1, the parade, it seems like things are being approved, like, this is like 4 days before it's actually happening. Is there like a time frame that maybe we can put in the newsletter? Hey, if you wanna do a parade, give us 2 months notice, cause it's gonna take us a month to approve it, so at least you have a month to go ahead and organize it. We need to get that information out to the people, because this last minute approval, I think is kind of silly. But, that's it.
Thank you, Buddy. At 223, the grant, that's 20,000, yes, we matched 4,000. Once we, this is just to apply for the grant, yes, once we get the grants, then we usually decide how we're gonna spend it, and it comes before the council. That's how most grants work.
The sidewalk one?
The
okay, that
sidewalk
was
one,
223.
yes, the company that is doing the sidewalks, that's where they mobilize all their equipment and materials and stuff. And it was not their fault that they needed the extra money. The actual planner for the state of New Jersey did the elevations wrong, so they had to redo it, and that's why there was an extra cost involved. But it's not coming out of our pocket.
I agree with the comment that was made that stuff should be fenced in at the park, because there were kids out playing in that parking lot, and I think that's pretty hazardous, so if the township can get on that, that would be great.
I will check and see if that's part of their planning when they utilize an area. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Joe Anderson. I wanted to address this, I want to find out what's this going to cost me the next 5 years. I guess it's a 5-year contract as a government worker union local. I want to find out is that going to be authorized tonight? How much is it going to cost the taxpayers for the next 5 years? Probably my biggest question. I mean, you guys open up a can of worms handing out these big contracts and these big salaries over here on the right over here.
Joe, address the account.
I'll address who I want. You used to do that, Harry, remember, when you was on this side? Yeah, things changed now, right? So that's my biggest question on what's on this agenda. I want to know what's this going to cost. We know what the school board, they're already screwing us. Probably gonna screw us next year on taxes again. And when you all ran for election, you all said you were gonna cut spending, Joe. We're gonna look into the spending, we're gonna cut spending. I ain't seen it yet. What's this contract that you're gonna authorize gonna cost us for the next 5 years? And not only that, I guess these guys here, Director of Public Works, Assistant Superintendent, Supervisor of Public Works, Supervisor of Buildings and Grounds, Supervisor of Streets and Roads, Assistant Supervising Mechanic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are they part of this contract? Probably not, right? They're supervisors, what kind of raise are they getting? You're not putting that up to the public. Well, what are they getting? You're not being transparent on that. Yeah, that's all my questions.
I can start if you don't mind, Harry. Well, I can give you the good news, Joe. It's not gonna hit you for the next 5 years. It's only gonna hit you for just a little over the next 2 years, and it's a 4-year contract because 19 months have already been gone, they haven't gotten a dime raise. So that's the good news.
Yeah, and you've been on this council since January, and you can't blame that on Jack.
Unfortunately, it just came to council.
January, February, March, April, May, June, 30 days each month. Can't blame it on Jack
You said you were
now.
finished.
He's not
You
sitting over
said
there.
you were finished. Now I'm trying to address your questions. You're not giving me the time.
Go ahead.
Okay. It came to council after administration gets done with the negotiations. Once they're done with the negotiations and they come to some form of agreement, it gets presented to council. It sat in administration's hands for 17 months. Hold on, 17 months. Now it's just come to council. And unfortunately, as our attorney sitting here will tell you, we can't discuss what is in the contract until after we ratify it or deny it. Actually ratify it. Then it
You
becomes
can't tell
public.
the public what it's gonna
No,
cost?
we can't.
No.
No, we
Surprise,
can't.
surprise, right? Right?
You work for the county, right,
Yeah,
Mr. Anderson?
yeah.
You get a raise every year?
Yeah. No. Well, you wanna come work for the county?
Well, I'm just asking because your raise affects
No,
my
we don't get
taxes.
nothing. We're gonna be in the same situation next year or 5 years. Or 1st of January, we're up for a contract.
Hopefully you get it on time. Hopefully you do.
Hopefully, we don't screw the residents of the county. Like the school board. So, I guess the answer is no, you can't tell the public, right?
I just told you, no, we can't.
No. But when are you?
It will
After you
become-
authorize it, and then we're all gonna sit here and no?
Correct. Once it becomes public knowledge, it becomes available.
What about you, administrator? What's it gonna cost us? You're the administrator.
Can't talk about it until the council has approved it.
Are you gonna approve it or not?
When we get to that order of business, we'll let you know.
Oh, and about the Snyder grass, you know, at the bank, I called Snyder today, I told him I was interested in the bank, buying the bank. And I asked him, you know, who's the owner, they're from Lakewood, you know that, right? And I asked them if they have a lawnmower or a weed whacker. And they said they'll be out tomorrow, so keep an eye on it.
They've been in touch with us, Joe, today.
And how many months does that take? How many months?
Joe, every time there's a problem, they
Well,
get
don't
taken
take too
care
long to
of.
pick up a cell phone and call somebody.
Man said
I did it
was-
today.
Man said it was handled, didn't he?
How long has that grass been there?
Well, I can tell you it was cut 3 weeks ago, so now it's
3
been
weeks
3.
ago, my
Every
man.
time it gets,
You see how high them weeds are?
I'm up there every other week for the farmer's
I
market.
said, you
so
probably
I
cut
know
those
when it gets high,
190, you probably cut them weeds.
Thank you.
That hole is lounging over there.
Well, I guess we're all just gonna sit back and, wait to see how much we either get screwed or we don't get screwed tonight.
Anyone else for public comment?
Just keep raising the taxes on the residents here. You don't give a shit. You said you were gonna cut spending, you ain't cut shit yet. You ain't cut nothing. Nothing. Now, prove me wrong. Grant money, that's all the hell you gotta do is apply for grant money. with the grant money, you wouldn't be able to do shit then.
Good evening, Tom Besselman, 147 Cannon Street, Browns Mills. I've been sent up here to remind people that the BMIA will be having our planning session on the 23rd of August at 2 o'clock. And the public's invited to come out and give suggestions of maybe programs or things that they would like to see us do on our meetings and our Friday night thing. So if anyone's around, come on out the 23rd to the BMIA building, 2 o'clock. And so with another hat, Friday night at White's Bog, we're having a pop-up Blueberry Fest because we missed one on the weekend before due to the weather. So we're gonna have, hopefully we'll have blueberries. We're gonna have wagon rides, a lot of activities for kids, and hopefully some baked goods. We'll have live music. So vendors, you can pop in, check it out if you're doing nothing. That's 5 till 8 on Friday. Saturday morning at 11, the Historic Trust at the train station. We have a presentation about a woman who wrote a book about Quaker sons in the war, and she'll be talking about that. So that's another event for this weekend. And Sunday at White's Bog again, in the Barrel Factory, we have a thing we do the third Sunday of every month called the Blueberry Jam. So if you're a musician, you can come out and you can join in. You can jam with the. It's all acoustic, so you come out and jam with the musicians. We have a local, our house band sort of called the Accidental Joke Band, and they kind of run the show. And if you just like sitting and listening to some music, you buy a hoagie, stop in, eat your hoagie, and listen to some music. That's it. Thanks.
Now, what time did you say the train station event was
11.
Saturday? 11 Saturday?
All right, thanks.
You'll be tasting cakes. What kind you want? I'll figure it out.
Okay, Mayor Matt Bianchini is not on the phone tonight? No. He's traveling? He's on vacation again? Okay, let's see. I have a few questions and a few comments, so I'm gonna ask the questions real quick so that, you know, you can think about what I'm talking about. Candace, I was wondering if you got how much is left over from the Acme, the money that was used for the budget and paying off the old debt. How much is left in that account we have for the Acme? I wanna know who paid for the toxic cleanup for that Acme. I wanna know if they are, be cutting down any more trees. Did anybody look into that? And I wanna know how many acres they cut and how much you got for the acres of trees they cut so far. I asked that at the last meeting, I wanna know if there's any interest yet. The other thing I wanted to, ask is, Rosemary, I wanna know what this energy project you're talking about is on one of the township properties. I know you didn't have much to say about it, but I'm looking for transparency on that. The other thing is, I wanna know if the ordinance tonight, it's a bond ordinance, does that mean that you need 4 votes? For the bond ordinance tonight, you need 4 votes. 4 out of 5, so if you know the answer to that, you probably do. And then, I wanna know, can the public comment on this ordinance tonight? I know you always say, yes, you can, but there are some times in the past where they didn't let us, so one of you can speak on this ordinance tonight. And, I wanna know when, I want it on record for the people who are watching and the audience who might be concerned, but when are you gonna have the ordinance, or is it a resolution or ordinance about the acres next door that you wanna swap for, the rails to trail place at the Greenberg, next to Greenberg? And, I wanna know if this goes through and you do swap this, what are you gonna do with that property? I know Mr. Dewey talked about, some kind of recreation with the, music hall or something, I forget what he's saying, but does anybody have any idea what you're going to do with that property if you get it? And I wanted to know, Harry, if you have, is the budget hearing, the budget's passed, Candace? Okay, so Harry said that when the budget passes, that then you're gonna revisit the solar panels, so I just wanted to know if you are visiting the solar panels, and if you're planning on putting solar panels on the township property, plus the land that you're gonna swap with the county. And, let me see, how many minutes do I have? Sunshine? Okay, as far as the Greenberg farm over there and the rail to trail, I don't know if anybody of you has taken a ride down to the rails to trails, but the Greenbergs have been cutting out a lot of trees and like making these driveways into the rails to trail. There's 2 or 3, at least 2. And I wanna know if anybody knows why they're doing that, what that is all about. And the other thing I wanna know is that, Harry, you talked about the Acme, entertaining the grocery store, cause the last meeting, you guys said you didn't know how many grocery stores they have even spoken to, or the name of any of them that they have spoken to. So, you said at the other meeting that they have been speaking to a grocery store, but I wanna know if Rosemary knows the name of that grocery store. Yeah. And then, yeah, I just wonder what the name of it is, and if you're not able to tell us what the name of the grocery store, what's the big secret? And I just wanted to say that, that's it, I'm done. Time's up.
Ordinance for second reading, yeah, you'll be able to comment on that when that comes up. The, land swap, until.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I'm
trying to answer what I can.
Do you need 4 votes for that? Bond ordinance
Yes.
tonight?
Bond ordinance is for.
Yes, for
Thank you. That's what bond ordinance means, always means 4 votes, right?
Second reading.
On the second.
Oh, yeah.
Second reading.
On the second reading.
So it's introduced originally, and then when it goes up for adoption, which is the second reading, which allows any resident to speak during the public hearing, it needs 2/3 vote, and in our case, that'll be 4 votes.
So that's gonna be tonight, right?
Yes, that's
And
tonight.
they're gonna vote on it tonight?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, as far as the land swap, until, we get it finalized and the county agrees with it, we can't make any plans for that property right now. We, just wanna use it for what we use it for normally, different, events in town. I know Mr. Dewey has a plan that he envisioned for the future, but that's something after we acquire the property and we have to, figure out where we get the funds for it.
So if we do get the property, are you gonna be interested in putting solar panels up there?
No, that would not happen, no.
That's good news. Are you still entertaining the solar panel people?
Well, we haven't talked to anybody, at this time, we're not, it's not on our front burner, we have a lot of other things we've been working with and stuff. And, we haven't got back to that, but I don't think we're in a hurry to readdress that.
Okay, on the back burner for now.
we just, they have.
Oh,
they don't
can you
wanna
back up a second?
Sure.
How many acres next door, I asked you that last night, how many acres next door do you wanna switch out?
I wanna say that's
About.
about 10 acres, I believe, over there. I don't know exactly, but I think that's about the right number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the grocery store, I mean, until the developer has a deal, they're not gonna tell us who's gonna negotiate with that. I mean, I know they've said they've talked with several, but until they finalize something, they're not gonna tell us everything.
Is that typical that they talk to grocery stores, but they don't tell you which ones?
Well,
Is that typical?
Yes. It's their
I mean,
it's their
it wasn't
negotiation.
typical of Tractor Supply, they told us all about Tractor Supply, they didn't.
It's their negotiation until they come up with a contract.
Trees are done cutting down trees and.
They're not cutting down anymore for 100% sure?
Yep.
Because last time you said you weren't sure.
No, Merle and I just checked it out today or yesterday, I forget, and they do have a plan to put landscape back in and kind of block in that back area again, once they're done building, so.
But they're not cutting down anymore?
No more trees are done cutting down.
They're not allowed to?
They don't have a need to as far as I know.
I mean, if they changed their mind, they could if they wanted to.
Something else would have to change as far as the plan, but at this time, I think they're done.
And does anybody know how many acres were cut already and how much we got for them?
No, that I do not know.
You know, Jen, yet?
I don't know the number, but I can tell you, per the current ordinance, the township was paid $700 per acre of trees that were cut down. But I do not know, as I did not review that, I do not know the exact number of acres.
Are you able to find that out for the next meeting?
I will do my best, Michelle, to find that out.
Okay, thank you. And what about the driveways by the rails to trails? Why are they cutting down the trees and making this? What, really wide
I
driveways?
literally just pulled the plans up, so I'm looking at them. They're not driveways, there are actually connections from the development to the rails to trails. So there's walking paths within the development, and part of the plan was to make a connection to the rails to trails. So the two driveway-esque areas that you see will become paths from the development to the rails to trails.
One of them, Jen, was actually where they broke
Correct.
across the trail and tied into the MUA.
Correct, so there would be 3 locations, 2 were for the trail paths. The third was where they tied in the sanitary sewer to the existing sanitary sewer that's already back there. The trail itself for that portion has already been restored. I've seen pictures, I sent Harry photos. It's just the sides of the rails to trails area that needs to be restored, but, that is what the other 2 locations are for. It's for walking path connections from the actual development into the rails to trails area.
So, you guys decided to give them their own special entranceway to the rails to the trail, okay? And so, why are they so wide if it's just a walking trail?
I did not measure
Has anybody gone back there lately and seen what I'm talking about? Aren't they really wide for a walking path? Or you didn't notice
They're
that
not
much?
wide, I've noticed they're not wide enough for a vehicle, but I don't know if they intend on putting any kind of walkway in there, Michelle, I really don't know, but if it's gonna be a walk, I mean, if you're thinking of a walking trail, like a trail through woods, no, it's a right-of-way that they opened up on land they own, so that their residents can walk out, walk down, and enjoy the Pemberton Township Trail, because they're going to be Pemberton Township residents as well, and they have the right to do that.
Well, it might not be Pemberton Township soon, if we swap. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Michelle, the question that you had for me was how much money's left over.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's
it.
approximately $500,000 left over.
And then who paid for the toxic cleanup? Did the township pay for that, or did the
Any
developer
cleanup
pay
was
for
done,
it?
any cleanup was done from the former owner, I think they were responsible for the.
They paid for it?
Yes, they paid for cleaning up the old dry cleaner that was there and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, we're gonna move on, get my notes out. Resolutions. Gentlemen of the council, we want to pull from the consent agenda. You think it needs discussion? Okay, we can discuss that, so we'll pull that one, yes. 217, yes. 218, yes.
Sorry, 217, 218, 198, and, everything else.
Anybody else have anything? All right, I'm looking for a motion for the amended consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
I'll second.
Mr. DeCharleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes. All right, 189, Danny, Jude, please proceed.
It wasn't really me, it was, I said we were gonna discuss about the amendment, and then we can go right in and do what we gotta do.
Yeah, there was just, I guess, Mr. Solicitor, you wanna explain the little sidebar?
There'll be a sidebar with respect to the town hall hours, and the hours, in the agreement, that will be handled with the union.
Anything other than that stays the same? There's no other discussion? I'll
Make a motion to pass 189.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Marshall?
Oh, yes. All right, moving right along. 217, Danny.
When our main man is 217, the library. The upgrade. Now, we're only partnering in that building. And I think the county did the heating and air in it.
Well, here's what happened.
I'm just looking for information because the paperwork I got doesn't make sense.
I questioned it today because I was involved in earlier conversations about this. The county did have a grant available, and the dollar numbers you saw on that Omnia program was about 2.5 times what the money is that we see here. And that was complete swap out of all the equipment and stuff. That's the only way the county would pay for it. Still, this training system is equivalent to all the other stuff that we have there already. We did have this bond money, as you saw in the paperwork, in 2021 to do this. And I asked the head of the DPW if we could still go after the county after doing this to get some money, but he said the county already told them that unless they wanted to pay for the higher price one, they would not be involved.
So,
It's been since 2021, we've been messing with this.
okay, so this 61,000, is this grant money, bond money?
It's bond money from 2021 that we appropriated.
So what's our skin in the game?
That's all our bond.
Okay, but technically,
Yes, yeah. Like I said, it took this long, from my understanding, we approved this bond, and the county came to us and said, we can get a grant. But once they moved into it, or, in my mind, it just probably wasn't worth it. It's equipment that, costs 2.5 times more, and it didn't match up with all the rest of the training equipment.
so I think maybe in the future, we should get a better understanding over there, I just get a better idea of what we're responsible for and what they're responsible for. You know, I mean, it's ludicrous.
I concur, there's a lot of gray areas when it comes to the county library, but, you know, the system does need to be upgraded. You've been there before, Daniel, it's not working up to speed over there. Totally move forward.
Can I, ask our heater guy what he thinks?
If he's allowed to comment with it, you know,
I don't know if that's appropriate.
you would know better than I, that's why I said it.
We have to get permission from the off the record.
I think you'd be safer and.
Yeah, off the record, maybe we can talk about something. That's not my place.
Right, yeah.
And you need permission from administration to allow it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're better off.
Why don't we table it till the next meeting then? I just wanna make sure that we're not getting ripped off.
I mean, we're paying the bill, not the county with this thing, and the county said they're out unless we go to this office and system, the county's. So, and from what I understand, that money's going away, August 1st, so by the next time we meet, that won't be an option anyway.
Yeah, this is for money that's already bonded, it's been bonded for 5 years now, so it's available.
But why did it take 5 years?
Because we were arguing back and forth with the county.
Yeah,
It's, look, I don't even wanna hear that stuff, that's impossible, it doesn't even make sense.
They wanted to put a system in through their people, their process that was much more expensive and wouldn't be compatible with the existing equipment, so that would have all been removed.
The problem is, when you have problems like this, nobody follows through, you know? If you gotta face people face to face. How can you let money sit for 5 years and nothing get done and the equipment doesn't work?
And who was in office in 2021,
It doesn't matter.
22,
It doesn't
23,
matter.
20?
But it's just coming to us tonight, okay?
So my question is, county-run building, but we're taking responsibility for it, but the county's telling us, spend this, or we don't want anything to do with it? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, we own the building.
Right.
That's how
And they
it was.
renovated it, so figure that out.
They did the same thing with the telephone lines last year.
Right, yeah, they.
But my question-
They dangle a carrot out there
Well-
and then they pull it back.
My question, Harry, is this, and I'm not trying to be facetious, like $62,000 for what it looks like an HVAC thermostat system? Like, you have to turn the dial up again, right? Is that what it basically does? Controls the HVAC system?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, we need it, but I'm looking, I'm looking at the bid, I mean, for a 3D projected, computerized floor plan system and it controls. 3D graphics package is provided for navigating BAS as well as viewing floor plans, system graphics, and equipment graphics. Whatever happened to just,
It's probably so the county control the heat and the air from Mount Holly on the internet.
I don't know, I'm with Danny, I'd like to hold off for,
When's our next meeting?
8-5, like I said, I was told that the
Who
county.
told you that?
I was talking with the head of public works earlier this week, and I have my bid package. Money's not available after first anyway from the county, so, and we're just, I think if we table this and come back, I think we're gonna circle back to the same exact thing, spending the 61.9, because the Omnia.
Well, I bet you a dinner that it wasn't the county's hold up, it had to be in this building.
I'm not here to
Last hour,
place blame
last
on
hour
anyone.
before the clock runs out, now it's our problem.
I know they've been working on this, Danny,
Well,
and I don't.
you better get them more help.
Don't wanna cast blame on anybody.
I've been here 4 years, I've never heard of this project. I'll motion that we, table resolution number 217/2026 this time.
Council President, I just
reached out to the DPW administration, and they said that they're authorizing Ryan to answer any questions that the council has.
Get up to the mic.
Ryan, come on up.
Let's go. You're gonna be a real hero.
Is he the one, the handsome woman from administration, or is it just gonna be Rose? The Rose okay with it?
She's in his department.
Road check with the direct boss, and go ahead, Ryan.
So, my experience working on the system since last August, we've done everything in-house. The chiller itself, I've replaced 4 condenser fan motors and controls inside the library. I know I personally, so we have what they're called fan coil units. It's a chiller-based system. We have 2 boilers that supply the hot water to the heat coils. The unit is run off software. It is, we have a laptop up there. The laptop, from best of my knowledge, it's not in the best working condition. I've replaced a couple of these fan center components. It's a train system. Train components are very expensive. Some of the information I've been given by the county staff is that, and also talking to our administration, my administration now back at DPW, is that we're not going with a train system. I think that's a stipulation through the county.
The counties won't pay if we go with the train system.
Train can be expensive. It's good, very good equipment, but it is expensive. So the controls that I'm replacing, and I have replaced, they're motherboards for these fan coil units. Some of these fan coil units, like, you have the vents like you see here, but some of these fan coil units, like right there at the library desk, you need a lift to get all the way up there that high. They can be almost 18 to 20 feet high in the ceiling in some of those, module boards. So I think they want to bring it up to speed, and they want controls that work well with the software, with the laptop. I know from what I've been told, and don't quote me on this, but I know they want to put a new motherboard system on the chiller. Maybe they want to invest a little bit of money in it. I work on it quite often. They call me on the weekend to come in and reset the chiller. Anything that breaks on it, I've been able to repair, but we've been putting some money into this. And, my old supervisor retired. He himself has done a lot of work to the system. We've done a lot of stuff in-house, but I also know sometimes they bring train out for certain things. So, I haven't been involved with the quotes and getting pricing or anything like that. I would definitely see there's a necessity to upgrade that system. They have a lot of problems every day. I was at that system twice today resetting it. Tomorrow morning, I do have a prior engagement, but after that, we have another condenser fan motor. I had ordered some extra ones last year to have on hand if they were to go this year, and they did. So we're going to utilize. I had them right there and then. So when we had a condenser fan motor go down in that heat wave, I have one right in there. We put it in. Same thing. I got one that's not running up to speed. I'm going to be replacing that one probably at some point tomorrow morning. But it's not every day that I'm there resetting the chiller, but there's a lot of weekends they call me in and I take care of it, and also throughout the day. So investment into that. Now, who's responsible for it and all that stuff, that, I'm privy to that stuff. But I do think it was a joint venture between the township and the county.
So Ryan, you're telling me $61,000.
Yeah, you did.
For $61,000, we're gonna eliminate the train system and put another system in?
No, that's a trained system that.
To the
What
best of
about
my
the controls?
I think to the best of my knowledge, they were talking about putting a new control board on the chiller itself, but maybe utilizing the existing chiller. Like I said, I'm not privy to all these meetings. This is just a little bit of talk that I have back and forth. And I do know they were interested in replacing the fan coil units, and then also the laptop and running new software for it so it runs more efficient and correct. Yep.
Who got the
Those
price?
components are.
Who got the price for the system?
That I couldn't tell you.
Because there's only one quote on the resolution.
I wasn't involved in any of that.
No, it has the quote that the county got for the Omnia system, and that's the only system they will pay for.
I can only speak on things I know, that's me working. on it.
Council President, it's
Yes.
National Co-op.
National Co-op, yes.
There's some things I'm not privy to.
And again, I know, even though the county's involved, it's our residents that use this library. You got the guy that's working on them telling us.
I'm there every day, and
Every day.
it gets utilized every day by our residents.
I mean, I don't know how long the lead time is to get this equipment. but-
Like right now, we're running programs with young children in there during the day, so I don't hesitate when they call me that, you know, put the chillers down, and they know right away it's. They run a lot of programs there, there's a lot of traffic in and out of our library every day, it is not empty, that I assure you.
You know, it's a busy place, but I would just like to know how the ball got dropped. And I don't wanna hear, how can it take 5 years to spend money when the money's there? Somebody dropped the ball, and I don't care, you know,
Listen, I'm transparent with everything,
I know,
I'm not involved on
I'm
that
not
side of
pointing
it.
the finger at you, but somebody dropped the ball.
Council President,
Yes,
Ryan a
go
question.
ahead.
Right, maybe you're not the right person to answer, but if we approve this tonight for $62,000, right? When are these parts expected, when should we expect these parts to come in? You know?
Josh, I couldn't tell you.
That I couldn't
That I couldn't tell you.
But
How long, Harry, you think?
I don't know, I mean, I don't know if they're
How long,
readily available. Well, I mean, you're not gonna get
If
anything.
you get them, let's say in 2 months. Hold on, I'm not even saying that, I'm not, so, July, August, let's say Ryan, you do it at the end of August, right? Strictly, I don't know. We'll call it beginning of September. How long does it take to like install this and get it up and running?
Well, I'd have to see the proposal on what exactly
I
they want to
believe
change out and what they're looking to
trains
do.
installing this and stuff. right?
Trains installing? Oh, I thought we were, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be trained from what I heard. I thought they were gonna go away from
There seems to be a lot of confusion.
Yeah, it says awarded to train.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
train gets into Harry in
Maybe
like
that's it.
September, October. Alright.
Apologize, I couldn't give you guys.
No,
I'll give you anything I got.
Appreciate what information you gave us, Ryan, I mean,
I think the whole point he's trying to make, Ryan, is we don't wait till June to put a brand new heater in our house, you know?
Believe me, I know that this was.
No, I understand,
Going back
but
and
I don't know the
Well-
limitations with county and monies and things.
And not to cut Ryan off, but I mean, like, you know, the whole thing with the Nesbitt Center, me and Danny went over there when the HVAC system was down. And all of a sudden, the sky's falling, we need a new HVAC system over there, and then, what was that, 6 months, 8 months later, Dan? And we were in winter, and then guess what? We need a new heater, we need a heater blower, you know, there were.
Well, the nice thing is.
Our timing is just not that good.
The nice thing is, Josh, a lot of that stuff is done in-house now, and you're not subject.
Good, that's very good, Ryan,
That's
thank
why I
you.
questioned this when I read it.
Yeah, that part, a lot of stuff I'm involved with the HVAC stuff, this kind of stuff, I think because it's between the county and the township, I'm not involved with.
So Ryan, I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot with a big question. Is this something you recommend, in your position, you'd like to see us go through with?
Well, that's quite a.
It's a big ask.
With
It's a big ask.
me not being involved in the bids and me not being involved with some of the things, but I can tell you this, the library gets used very much every day. It's always, it's never not busy there. It's used for programs. Yes, I think anything into the library for this town, it would be a good investment because it's not a building that's empty. It's a building that's full of children, it's full of adults, it's full of seniors.
It's a big ask, but I appreciate your honesty, I really do.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking you for the price tag
Yeah,
portion of it, just the improvement.
And the amount that, you know, in the air conditioning months, you know, because I was also working in there in the heating months, because the motherboards for these modulars, you know, we corrected any of the heat issues, and I've also done work, you know, we have a centralized boiler system that feeds these hot water coils. We put some money into the boiler system, which that's working great, but the air conditioning system, we do have a lot of issues, and a lot of those issues are with the integration of the motherboard and the laptop system, and then also the electronic components of the system. And I think this is something, you know, from talking to my supervision, this is something they've been talking about for a while, upgrading.
And the motherboards and stuff work for the heat and the air conditioning.
They do.
So
They do.
when we're upgrading the system, we're taking care of the heating and the air conditioning system. Yes. I mean, I think if we delay this, we're just further escalating the delay of the project.
Danny, I wish if if I knew more about the other side, I would love to answer your question,
If I
but that's
could
stuff I
add
just
some
haven't been.
about the other side from what I do know, and there's probably more clarification that's still gonna be needed, but from our portion of financial and in-kind, we help them out with the buildings and grounds portion of the library. We help with the solar project, we help with, I believe, the, cleaning of the building, and then HVAC. Now, the reason why it took so long, the way it was described to me, is that the county had a grant, they wanted to use it. However, after inspection, they were going to spend a lot more money to use a company that was not preferred, and since we were on the building, we wanted to go with who we preferred to use for the HVAC system, and it was cheaper. That is the basis of what I know.
And to expand on what Candace said, we do the general maintenance in there, we do the plumbing in there. I think we pretty much handle all the general maintenance, HVAC, plumbing.
So what does the county do? Staff it?
Yes.
By the books? What?
Yeah, the staffing of the county is.
Supply books.
Rosemary, can you do me a favor? If this gets approved tonight, I would like to know why it took 5 years. Okay? I mean, this is mind-boggling to me. You know, if it's the county's money, why didn't the county just do it? Okay? You know, there's just something wrong here. I
I'll look
can't wrap
into
my
it,
hands around it.
and I'll
This
also
is
see if
nuts.
I can pull the deed and see if there's anything in the deed that says who does what. I did speak, to the director, and he said that they can't order the parts yet until they get a PO. So,
I know,
the longer
I know.
it takes to get to approval, the longer it takes to
Yeah,
approve.
we know.
There's
So,
there's something wrong here.
thank you. Alright, so.
Mr. Chairman, there's a motion to table on the floor that needs to be addressed.
Motion,
Correct. Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm just gonna rescind that motion.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Wood. Looking for a motion to approve.
I will make a motion to approve, and I'd like to take a moment while I'm doing that to thank Public Works Administration for allowing Ryan to come up and talk, because this, I believe, I was at table until we got Ryan's information. If it's for the benefit of our town and he expressed that concern, I'm happy to make the motion to approve.
Alright, thank you. Second on the motion?
I'll second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
No.
Mr. Ward?
No.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Same thing, every damn vote, 3-2, same people.
I'm sorry, Joe.
2/18/2026, authorizing refund.
If you had the public works supervisor over there like you're supposed to, like you said you were gonna have, then you wouldn't have to call Ryan up there. You ought to make Ryan the goddamn supervisor.
Jim, refund. Alright,
That was a bunch of jerk having them supervisors over there. What was that, all show? You don't have them over there now. Brunson ain't been over there fucking 4 months now.
come on now. Danny,
Where's your public works supervisor?
Danny, 2/18, that was yours.
Yeah, 218. We've been down this road before.
Well,
Explain
you
to
came
me
tonight, Ryan,
how
and what the
this
hell to do with that?
process- It sounded like to me that he dropped the
Why don't you
bill
come to
in
every
box.
meeting so they can call you up there?
How did it get to the point where it was a double payment?
Well, you have the same paperwork I have, you see where they did write 2 checks, I don't know if they were, sending a letter saying that they're late.
You.
The first one got here late. but
Yeah, spend some more money. Just spend it all. Shove it right up our asses.
Was, 2 checks paid for the same quarter, so, I mean, it looks like, yeah, I don't know what the resident did.
I mean, we've been down this road before. And we're paying good people to run this department. Now, is the poor guy 90 years old and,
I can answer that, Mr. Kelly.
you know, how can somebody make a double payment for their taxes when they can't even afford the first payment, you know what I mean?
It appears that, the gentleman, the owner of the property, he had given someone a check to drop off here. When he didn't see that the check had cleared, what he did was he came up to the township and he submitted another one.
Okay, what was the distance between the first one and the second?
That's right here, 5/2, 5/18.
Yeah. Okay. Of this year?
Yeah.
approach the reimbursed ago. I didn't wanna screw them out of the money anyway, I was just trying to wrap my head around how could something this dumb get past all of our people, you know? Yeah, let's pay.
Looking for a second on the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharleroy?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Sharon, can we skip down to B and get that behind us?
I guess we can go out of order.
You know, I mean, they've been here all night.
It requires a public hearing, and so. Alright, at Mr. Dewey's request, we're gonna skip down to, new business part B, police permit, which requires a public hearing. Central Jersey Tractor Pullers Association 2026 tractor ride to celebrate America's 250th ride passing through first and Pemberton Township by way of Barney's Mount Road, Barney's Mount Birmingham Road, Crossing Mountain Road, Brandywine Road, Birmingham Road, and Pemberton Road. On Sunday, July 19th, 2026, approximately 11 a.m. to 11:20 a.m. Would anybody like to speak publicly on this matter?
Oh.
Hi, my name is Gina Lansbury. My address is 2109 Oldbrook Road in Bordentown, 08505. I am the co-chair of the Central Jersey Tractor Pullers 2026 Tractor Ride event that is taking place on July 19th. Our tractor ride is currently on schedule for Sunday. We came up with a little bit of confusion with the permit for Pemberton and the county. I received my county permit on this past Thursday. So I came to the police on Friday to notify them, and that's when we found out that there's issues with the police department and the Berlin County Fire Police. And I'm hoping that was resolved today, but I'm not exactly sure. I do know that the president of the Berlin County Fire Police Association has told me that the Springfield Township Police Chief has now contacted all the police chiefs for their approval for the fire police to escort us the entire route of 35 miles.
There was a lot of help from this morning at the meeting. There was a lot of help from our group. And very, very helpful. Very helpful.
So, we're in Pemberton for a little under a mile and a half, and that's where we're asking for permission to come from Springfield Township across those roads to Southampton Township.
Now, if I may ask you, so it's my understanding from the phone calls that I got today, because I was on the phone for probably 2 to 3 hours about this, you guys put your application back into the county only back in February, and as you said, you just got the paperwork back from the county with what you need to do, the hoops you need to jump through on Thursday. So that you have about 8 days, including a weekend, to make this happen for yourselves.
This is our 15th parade, our tractor ride, our 15th event, and there have been years that I've gotten it back in 6 weeks, and there are years that I've gotten the permit the day before the event.
Well, like I said, the best thing about this, I'd love to see it happen. The worst thing that happens here for Pemberton Township is we have a huge event, like something like this, to kick off the county's biggest celebration of the year is the Farm Fest, the Farm Fair, biggest by far. And we get a chance to tell our residents, now we only have a week's time to say, hey, if you want to catch this parade, it's cool. It's coming through a section of our town. It's only about a mile long. We don't have time to reach out to the 2 businesses that are down there and say, hey, would you guys be willing to open your parking lots right down there in Birmingham. Lanxess is what I'm talking about, and Solstice, which I'm sure would both be on board with one telephone call to allow that. We have the whole MUA driveway back to our MUA facility that we could probably put 30 to 40 cars on. There's plenty of road frontage on Birmingham where our residents could bring their kids, and this is what you guys, not only you guys, but Pemberton has been stuck with. So now we have all of our guys, not only doing their everyday jobs, but they have to put all that aside to be able to make this happen for the county. Because what's gonna happen is if we don't provide you with everything in this short little time frame that they've had 5 months to do it, we're gonna be the ones that look like we're saying no, and that's the last thing I think that anybody on this council wants to do. So I'm very, very sorry. Thank God. My question is, what happens if this wasn't on a night where we have a meeting in the 1 week? They don't even get their parade permit. They don't even get to make an application to us because there's no council meeting, unless we hold a special one just for this, which I'd be happy to do.
That would have been a bigger problem, yes, yes.
But thank goodness we have this meeting tonight, so hopefully we can get this done for you guys. I am very sorry for everything you've had to go through, but I understand that there was a lot of time put into this today. I hope, and I do have to say the one little note here, and I want to put it on the record.
Yes, please.
That the approval of this permit tonight is pending the receipt of county approval, which means if it's given approval tonight by this council, we are saying, yes, we want it. And I've spoken with the police chief at length today, and he assured me that he is behind this and he has signed off on the permit for us to approve it tonight. And again, it says the approval of this permit is pending receipt of county approval as of the release of this agenda, which was dated today, which means Sunshine had to get on her horse today and make this all happen in 1 day's work to get this tonight. So this is the dilemma that, I'm sorry?
We're sorry about that.
You don't need to be sorry, it's not your problem. It's not your problem at all. Again, it's more to the county. It's kind of like the county plows that come into Pemberton happens last. And this is something that's sad for our residents because we don't get to put it out there too much for them. But I wish you all the best. I can't wait. Fortunately, it's gonna go right past my house and I can't wait to see it.
I can tell you that, I will be wanting to call those 2 businesses as I've done with the rest of the route. I will do that if you would like me to.
Ma'am, you don't need to. I'll walk across the street tomorrow and talk to them personally. I will do that for you.
There is other places too, because the route is 35 miles.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's nice for Pemberton Township residents to be able to enjoy this right in our own town. We don't have to, like I was talking about before with the girls with the cheer. It's nice for residents of other towns to be able to come to Pemberton to see something. And this is where people don't even have to leave town, it's coming to us. And we don't even have the time to get it out there to them. But I wish you luck.
I will do that as much as I can overnight. I'm on all the municipal pages, so I will post it and share it and.
Just hope we're not from that one, because they're picking up other stuff.
Like right now, I have 88 tractors signed up, and I'm probably gonna have at least 100 come signed up. So, it's a big enough price. I'm sorry, it's a big enough.
No need to be sorry.
Do you by any chance have a flyer that we can post on our website to, help advertise?
Did you get it, Ruth?
We do.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it, we do have a Facebook page, I think there's a tractor for it. Even though we're our own association, we're not really part of the farm fair, but we kick off the farm fair.
Right.
Like this Sunday, it's every year, this Sunday before. Farm fair's a big time.
that's all I've been posting on all the other municipalities, is the group. And people are well aware of it.
And I'm understanding you guys, this is a 35-mile trek? And you guys have even gone as far as having local tow recovery companies assisting you in this, in the event that some of these older tractors can't make the route. That's incredible.
Joan, have more tips.
Bruce Flynn has done it every single year.
And we also have a mechanic follow us.
On my things mechanics.
Appreciate everybody's help. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We just have to see if there's anybody else for public comment on this, and then we'll do what we can.
Cat Guthrie, 317 Birmingham Road, and I am excited about this.
I hear party at your house, is that what I heard?
Yep, we don't see too much cool things like this in Birmingham, and I hope you guys all vote yes. And kind of like that newsletter I was mentioning, if we had something out 3 months ago, and maybe the township instead of having these good people wait 5 months, should get involved and say, hey, you know what, it's taking so long, let us help you. Because we could have kinda had food trucks out there, and the ice cream man at least. That would be so cool, because we don't even get an ice cream man.
Mrs. Guthrie, the township has started the newsletter. They posted on the website, it's a monthly one, it's only been out a few months, but we had actually started the program back up. Mr. Willits is our marketing agent on that.
Okay, so like I'm one of those terrible people that don't go in, I would love to get something still in the mail. And I know a lot of other senior people that would like to get something in the mail because we read the mail.
Agreed.
But, thank you so much. I am so excited. I live right on Birmingham Road. I'll make sure that I'm out there and cheering you guys on. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment on this? Seeing none, any discussion from the council members?
I make a motion to approve the parade permit.
Second.
Josh. Right, we have a motion in 2 seconds.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharlevoix?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Good luck, folks.
Yes,
Sorry for
Thank you.
inconvenience.
Sorry it took 5 years.
Mr. and Mrs. Nosbury? Over here. Can you do me a favor, the moment you set the date for next year, notify me, so we go in the link, and invite us to your meetings, so we can keep everybody apprised. We'll get this done early next year, we'd love to have you back. It was a pleasure serving you today, and your committee. And, good luck with that.
All right, gentlemen, let's first back to ordinance for second reading. Now we got that out of the way. Ordinance 20-2026, bond ordinance providing for phase 1 Living water system improvements for the water utilities of the township of Pemberton, county of Brockton, state of New Jersey, approving $1,580,280 for authorizing issuance of $1,580,280 bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof. Open the floor for public comment on this ordinance. Anyone with public comment on this ordinance? No. Michelle, you coming up with comment?
Is this the one that last time you voted on, you voted no for, and then no in the back?
Do you want me to answer this?
No, you can handle any questions you want to ask.
Michelle, so this one actually went on at the beginning of the year, I believe it's ordinance for 2026. This is the water projects that we had in 4 phases, we completed some of them, and we needed to go back out to bond for phase 1, which the ordinance was approved, we did get notes on it. Shortly after getting funding for it, we were told that we could get a, principal-free loan, which means we wouldn't have to pay back the money. So in order to do it though, we needed a fresh ordinance. So we're basically replacing the original one. So we are creating this ordinance to hopefully go through, then we can, apply for the forgiveness-free loan. And then once we have that funding available, we can cancel the original one that was approved earlier this year. Do you need to say it again?
So, what is forgiveness free loan? You don't have to pay it back?
Yes.
Who's gonna give me this loan?
The iBank, yes, they've
The
given us.
I-Bank? It's called the I, like letter I bank?
It's called the New Jersey Infrastructure Trust. So what they do, not to get into too many details, I'm sorry, Candace, is it's basically, if you've ever heard the term state revolving fund, it's how this government gives money to states to fund, projects in different departments. So in the state of New Jersey, the infrastructure trust provides funding for clean water, which would be for wastewater, and drinking water projects which would be the New Lisbon project. And because of the BABA funding, certain towns are able to get up to a certain amount of money with principal forgiveness. The number was, I believe, is $2 million. Pemberton Township qualifies for that. So when the original bond ordinance was done back in the beginning of the year, they were not aware that they would be able to get that principal forgiveness. We have since learned that we will be able to get the principal forgiveness, and this is just basically doing what the DEP needs us to do so that we are able to get the principal forgiveness.
Okay, so, get all of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because we're only asking for 1.5 and we can get up to 2 million.
Are you gonna use the other part?
No. No, but they do have these every year, so if we were to come up with a project, we could, see if we were, if we were available to get those funds at that point. However, this is kind of just a formality, and then we can cancel the original one and take it off of our debt percentage, sometime next year.
So is the state giving you this money or the federal government?
The state.
Department of Water?
The Department of Environmental Protection.
And once you get this done, if it passes, who is this gonna benefit?
It's
The project, phase one, I know that, did phase 2, 3, and 4 go through, yes, or not?
phase 2.
All of them?
Phase 2 and phase 4 are completed. Phase 3, I'm sorry, retract that. Phase 2 is complete, phase 3 cannot be completed, phase 4 is complete. Phase 3 cannot be completed until phase 1 is completed. So this is going to allow us to build phase 1 so that phase 3 can be completed. Phase 3 has already been awarded to a contractor, and the money is already set aside for this. This is just for the money for phase 1 to be finished.
Okay, so did the town council pass phase 3 yet?
Yes.
Okay, so, what part of town is gonna benefit from this water?
This is the new Lisbon water line is gonna run from the new well we put in at the,
Wait a minute, you talk too fast.
well, I'm just telling you, the line's running from the new well we put in at the old prison site.
Like, old prison site, Cannon Barrow, that little,
Right across from the college. Yep, used to be a prison there, yeah, and then the line will run down to the new, will run down to the refurbished water tower that we just finished refurbishing.
the water tower right here?
Yes.
So you run from there to there. Okay, pipeline, get the
Yep.
water from here to there?
Yes.
So, what part of town is it gonna,
Well, I was,
development?
right now, that just services the new Lisbon water area.
The 40 residents who live in Lisbon?
Whatever it is, 40-some residents.
A lot of money to help 40 residents. Don't they, most of them have their own well?
No, it's 40 that are on the water system now, and 40-some that are on the water system now.
Greenberg's not gonna benefit from this at all?
No.
You think Greenberg's gonna benefit from this at all, Mr. Stewart?
I don't think so.
That would be an
You're not sure?
enormously large
Hold on a
distance.
second, you're not sure?
Not as long as we're here.
Microphone?
Still here. The bad guy that started all this mess isn't here anymore, and that's why he did Roto Village, because his plan was to go from New Lisbon down the bypass, come out to Magnolia Road, pick up that development, go down the street, tie into Josh's development.
All that's not happening anymore?
No. Hopefully, not my lifetime. But who knows, they'll probably hire him back. Hold on. Won't be many.
Okay, let's go for now.
Yeah, but it should have been, I believe that the project stopped, but this is just to tie in the new well to the new Lisbon Tower.
Whoever's gonna help, the water, goes from over there to put this, we gotta get down.
No.
All their septic.
They have separate.
Yeah, they drink it.
Alright. Anyone else for public comment on this ordinance? Any comments from the council members?
Make a motion to pass ordinance.
Twenty dash 2026. Second on the motion?
I'll second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharlevoix?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Abstain.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes. Alright, moving along, new business, A1, fire department software from the county of Burlington, total amount of $320.88. As I understand, this is just a contract, software that the fire department's tied into the county. Questions?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I would like to know this, let me see, make sure I get the right one. This is the $11,000 one?
No, $3,820.
Okay, I wanna know if these things that we're paying tonight were part of the budget.
They come out of the fire department's budget.
Okay, but I wanna know is if they created a budget with these figures included in their budget.
And this would have
Yes, they should be including all annual contractual in their OE budget.
Okay, but I wanna be, just to ease my mind, in my years of business, when you prepare a budget, and after the budget's approved and you start dipping into the cookie jar, there should be a paper saying, it was part of the budget, and here's the balance for the budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because,
I
you
mean,
know,
I can start providing that, but the purchase order, they should tell you which line it's coming out of, which is the line that they should have included in
I
it.
understand, but if somebody's got a $50,000 budget, and 6 months down the road, they've already spent $60,000, they're over $10,000 over the budget, right?
Yes, that's
So
not
we
legal.
don't know the answer when we're up here. We're relying on people to give us the right information. And I think, you know, I just have a sneaky feeling that numbers are thrown together sometimes, and it's a spending spree, and we have to control spending, you know.
So as council, you're allowed to request any documents you want. I can send you an updated budget of what's been spent.
I would just like, when somebody wants to spend money, the taxpayers' money, I'd like to know a guarantee that it was on their budget, and this is the balance left of their budget. That's all I'm asking.
And Mr. Dewey, you know you at any time, once you meet your agenda, you can contact any department head.
Yeah, but
and
see,
ask
Harry,
them.
I don't have 6 hours a day to stay here, you know what I mean? I'm a busy guy, you know? But I think if we put in things in place, it should be automatic. It's just like when we get resolutions, whoever wrote the resolution should have their name on it. And I asked that 2 years ago, and we still don't have that, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, maybe I've had a long day, but I really think we have to look at our agenda and do some changes. Because when posts who posts the agenda on the public side of their website? Okay, so do you think, what would be the possibilities when you post the agenda on the website? Why can't we put the resolutions on there too? Well, okay, but the reason I'm saying, if they had more information, you wouldn't have 20 people coming up and everybody asking the same question, what does this mean? You know, if we could streamline it, when they get the agenda, they can see the resolution, they can read it, and they got an idea what it is. You know, we spent 2 hours on public comments. You know, and what I'm thinking, maybe we should do the business that we're supposed to do first and do the comments at the end. You know, you had people sitting here hours and hours for an answer, right? And it's still gonna drag on because now we're talking, bills. We gotta get information out to our residents. I don't know how we can do it, but.
You recall, last year for a little while, we tried doing all the resolutions first and then having public comment later, and the audience complained about that because we voted on it before they had a chance to know what it was. So we went back to.
But Harry, if you listen to me, if the information's on the website, they can go and look it up. You know, if it means more, we gotta streamline these things better. You got people sitting here listening to Bob, you know, we gotta get our work done. And we gotta figure out how to get the information out to the residents, and we can streamline these meetings a little bit. That's all I'm asking. You know, I sit up here and I hear this one asks the same question, this one gets up, you know. They need the information, you know, I'm just trying to serve the people better. And I don't know, well, it's 1970, that's all I got.
Any other questions on this, purchase? For a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
Mr. DeCharlevoix?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Sure.
Mr. Harper?
yes. All right, fire department replacement of AC, furnace unit, purchasing mechanical service, total amount $15,370. Your heating and air conditioning system went a couple weeks ago, and, it just got works, and,
Why aren't we doing it in-house?
the fire department has a contract with Hutchison,
So it's just coming out of the fire company's money, all the money they got back?
fire company's money.
Then I approve, let them pay. Still stupid.
Sounds like a motion, that's second.
I'll second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yep.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. DeCharlevoix?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
But it goes back to wasted money. I don't know why they wouldn't have the township do it, but they could probably do it for $7,000, but apparently they got a lot of money in the bank. Wasted more money.
Usually even when we replace our systems here, we usually get the contract.
Well,
All
we
right.
haven't for the last year.
Business 3A, police department, Tyler Tech software maintenance and annual allocation from the county of Burlington in total amount of $11,287.38. It's an annual contract again, and questions? Motion?
Make a motion approved.
Second motion? I'll second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. DeSharlo?
Yes.
All right, there's three from that.
We already did that. We did that.
You said you took care of that, yep. Okay, bill list, and, council questions on that?
I have a question.
Go right ahead, Mr. Dewey.
I see that we bought another smart TV.
Have page number on
Well, matter of fact, I can't even find the bill list.
it? Page 2, smart board, $2,800 or $2,089.
And I think it's the same person that we had sent back months ago. And I just don't understand. There's one in there, there's through it. Like, if they have to have something with a smartphone, why can't they use this for? Why does everybody have to have a smart TV? You know, I mean, with the prices are coming down, the last one we sent back, that was $3 grand.
That was over almost $4 grand.
Yeah. And I don't understand why we have to have so many in a building. Nobody talks to me, hey, can I borrow your office? I need your smart TV.
Ro, do we know what, office this has gone to, or any?
So it is actually, proposed for recreation, and I did go in, because I seen it as well, I did go into the system, and it has notes in there that the mayor and the chief of police had approved it.
Why would the chief have anything to do with approving it?
Because it's coming out of opioid funds.
Oh, okay, because it's from the opioid settlement.
So my question is, if we're seeing so many things on the bill list from Amazon and other things like that, what I'm saying is, I just bought an 80-inch smart TV for home, and I spent $799. It's just something that has to be on the approved vendors list. I mean, why can't we order this from Amazon? I went to Costco, I'm sure we could probably do that.
I'm not a tech guy, so I don't.
Well, I just don't understand. For the amount of time or hours it's not gonna be on, I mean, what was that thing right there? How much do we use it? 6 times a year.
It's actually not a smart TV, it's a smart board.
But why do we need so many?
I mean, I understand it's opioid funds, yeah, it's not taxpayer dollars, but maybe 1,000 of it can go to the TV or the smart board, and you got $2 grand left over to do something else with.
When they give us money, $200,000 a year because Pemberton Township's got a drug and drinking problem, and the prior administration approves 2 cannabis stores, and then we go buy smart TVs. How does that help the kids to get off drugs?
Right.
Prevent them from getting on drugs, you know? And it's wasteful spending, and it's spent before it gets to us. We can't unring the bell. You know, somebody already made a decision, and I don't see how you can take drug money that we earn because we have a problem and piss it away on stupid shit we don't need.
That's right.
You know, that's my, you know, it's crazy. You know, like we always said, we don't have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem in this town. You know, it's just like, I hear through the grapevine, a couple people decided to decorate 2 offices. Well, what right do they have to decorate an office with taxpayers' money? Did they get permission for that? You know, I'm still looking for the snow shovel we got from Amazon last year. It said Merry Christmas. You know, I'm not accusing it of anybody, but there's gotta be controls put in so everybody can't pick up Amazon and order something. You know, and it's already spent when it gets to us, and then we have to approve the bill. Somebody's gotta be in charge, I'll tell you that.
Where is this supposed to go?
You know, I mean, we could easily.
Ready? Is this a smart board here, Rob?
The smart board is more like the unit that's in there, I know. not really sure about this one, but it also does like the Zoom meetings, team meetings, things like that.
It's a smart. But, you know, I mean, maybe we should cut the spending down to 500 person, you know? Because when I got here, it was 6,000, and it was a free-for-all, you know, and then we knocked it down to 3,000, you know, oh, the world's gonna end. Well, it didn't end. You know, maybe it should get knocked down again, because the spending is out of control. Out of control. But, only one guy.
Got any other ones on there that, jump out at you, Mr. Dewey,
So,
or-
I'm not even going that. I figured it was for the senior center.
Anybody else have any questions on the bill list? Go ahead.
Page 1.
Your mic.
This, streetscape.
Your mic.
Page 1, the streetscape.
Actually, that one's been pulled, Rowan, I caught that earlier
Okay.
in the week, so that's not on there.
All right. And I had, page 6. There's a legal service for planning for 5 Pasadena Solar. What is that one about?
Dan Dewey, your mic's not on, what did you just say?
Okay.
Yeah,
You said page 6, right, Charles?
page 6, yeah. It's on the very bottom.
Okay, yeah. It's, something with the planning board, I'm saying, because it's saying planning.
It's not the planning board, I can tell you that.
It's not the planning, yeah, but, like I said, I see planning next to legal.
It's planning board fees.
Council President, I think that has something to do with the solar, out at the two sites that we talked about earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
But
And then,
it may need to be changed on line item, I'll find out.
Okay.
and my last 2 questions are on page 12. I have a 12,500 for 311 Seminole Trail, that's an affordable housing. What work was being done with there?
That was, affordable housing grant, I believe, right? And that comes out affordable housing fund.
Right. Okay. And then, down on, one Hanover Street, 10,150 for water.
That looks like that's us paying the, borough for the waterways.
Okay, that's what that is, okay.
Yes, yes.
All right, that's it then.
Remember last meeting, I'm sure we got paid, but there was some legal fees on there that nobody could come up with an answer. And we struck it from the bill list, but I'm sure it got paid, but. is there any-
Actually, no, it didn't, because I did speak with, the human resource lady, and she said that.
Who's human resources?
Anna Shager, but she did say that if because there's 2 issues there that are seriously confidential, so she said if anyone has any questions, for her to approach them, approach her so she can give you the outline of what it's about, but, she's on vacation and I don't feel comfortable with signing off on it because it wasn't something I dealt with, I only dealt with the Sistera matter.
Okay.
So I'll sign off on that part of it, and when she gets back, she'll sign off on the other 2.
I just feel glad that you're on top of it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else, any questions? If not, we're looking for some sort of motion for the bill list.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second on the motion.
Second.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes. All right. Mr. Solicitor, do you have anything to report tonight?
Nothing, sir.
All right. Mayor's out on business, Madam BA.
I just have a few updates. At the last meeting, someone had mentioned about the donations to the Nesbitt Center. I did speak with the rec director, and he said that actually 2 of the items residents have already claimed, and they're in the process of picking up. The second issue is that I wanna let everybody know that our 9/11 event, if you have a veteran, if you've been in the EMS, firefighting, military, or police, and you have a successful, like, story of something that you or somebody in your family was involved in, we want you to participate in our 9/11 event, please reach out to me. We also wanna have a pamphlet to showcase the things that have been accomplished by our heroes, pretty much. So please share those memories with us. Whether the people are deceased or still alive with us, we still want the families of the deceased person to participate. We want all those stories, whether they're here or not. So that's the second thing. And my third thing is I just want to wish the Lounsbury Farms a successful tractor ride.
Absolutely.
It's a 250th event, and like I think Councilman Doyle said tonight, it's the biggest event in Burlington County. So I wish them lots of success. Thank you and have a good night.
All right, thank you very much. Any of our professionals wish to speak? No? All right. Mr. DeShelroy, let's start with you tonight.
Just a reminder that, we do have the farm fair coming up for the county. And it's an event that I try to attend at least 2 or 3 nights. And right now, usually it happens on the hottest week of the year, but it looks like this year we're actually gonna luck out, and it's gonna be pretty nice weather for the majority of it. So make sure you all get out. That's it.
When is it? You said when?
It starts, next Tuesday.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Dewey.
Yeah, I have a couple things. I had mentioned it, last meeting, I think, and, I read Facebook and, about the geese getting run over around the lake. I agree that, there should be some more police activity. It's a 25-mile-an-hour zone, and if you do 25, people pass you on the curb with the double yellow lines. But the biggest problem is we have too many geese in this town. And I'm not trying to pass the buck, but this falls under administration. The feds have to be notified, the state's gotta be notified. We got a geese problem. And they've already destroyed Lake Pemberton, and Mirror Lake is already on the verge of getting ruined. There's over 1,000 geese on Mirror Lake. So, I know.
You are working on it, Mr. Dewey.
Okay, I know that the eagles are too, so maybe we can bring a couple more eagles in, but there's a major problem on that lake, and, and then you read, oh, somebody ran over 10 of them. Well, you got 25 crossing the road at a time, but they should slow down. I'm not promoting anybody to run the geese over, but there is a huge problem in that town, so that's one thing. One of the things that I picked up in the bill list, and I didn't want to bring it up then because I'm going to bring it up now. I really strongly feel that any department that's going to have an event, I think that they should submit a budget to the council. We're going to have a yoga, and it should be drafted as, here's what I'm planning on spending. The instructor's gonna be $200. I gotta buy 300 mats. I gotta get this and that. You look at the bill list, and here's somebody buying hand fans, this fan. You have no idea what event it is. And it was the earlier comment. I said, if it's coming out of recreation, hopefully he's got that event in his budget, so we can start checking checks and balances, because, it's out of control. We have no idea what the events are. And I think if somebody's having something special, and present, here's my budget, I'm gonna have this, 6 weeks from now. We can review it, we can ask questions, you know, was this on your budget? And if yeah, we can approve it. But, like I said, the money's already spent when it comes to us. And we gotta get some controls on spending. I don't know if you know, if you want me to, show up at a meeting and, you know, administration meeting, I'd be glad to give my input in why I'm going this way. Other than that, thanks everybody for coming out. Hopefully we get these cheerleaders going. Now, if we pull this off, you know, we'd like a little demonstration before the meeting, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
They're ready.
I hope everything goes well for you. We're gonna support you, and, everybody have a great weekend. See you at the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Dewey. Mr. Brown. They're done on that side.
I really don't have much at all. It's sad that, we don't get to promote this event from the farm fair for the tractors. I happened to be at the farm fair last year I just saw it there. And I gotta tell you, it's amazing. Anybody that, goes to car shows for cars, or truck shows for trucks, you got lifted trucks, you've got lowered trucks. I mean, what these guys do with the tractor is pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. And, if you got some kids that are interested, they wanna come on down to Birmingham. I got about 300 foot of road frontage. And, as soon as Danny stops crinkling that thing in the microphone, you're more than welcome to set up shop with a chair on my front lawn. I got about 300 foot of road frontage, and please come on down and check it out. Should be a good time. Plenty of water, dude. Crinkle there too.
Or your swimming suit.
That's you.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Warden.
Not much tonight, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. People that did stick around, thank you for coming out. The tractor parade, it's a shame, should have happened. I don't know if Danny said anything, but 4 years ago, 5 years ago, was it, Danny?
5 years ago.
The people that lived around the lake would have actually seen the tractors go around the lake. But there were some people that didn't want that to happen. So I like the fact that we're actually getting it through our town now. Hopefully it turns into an annual thing. 9/21. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ward. Just like to remind everybody, weather permitting, we got a farmer's market this Saturday. I understand there's some possible rain. We won't make a decision on that till Friday morning. There's also the movie night, if it doesn't rain at the lake Saturday night. A lot of things depending on the weather. I know they mentioned the awareness on the streets over there at the Reflection Park is gonna be there Saturday. So come out and visit all that stuff. We have White Spots, we're gonna have something Friday night and Sunday. Train station has something Saturday morning. You'll have plenty of events to go to indoors and out, so please go to some of them, go to all of them, enjoy yourselves. As Ro was talking about the 9/11 event that we are gonna have, that's gonna be at the Country Lakes Firehouse on 9/11. I believe the start time is at 11 a.m., so put that on your calendar. I believe Sunshine's gonna post a track your event on our website tomorrow. So it'll get some coverage and stuff. And I think we did a lot of good things here tonight, and hopefully we'll do even more at the next meeting. Thank you all for coming out.
Harry, did they get the cleats on the beach for the boats?
No, as far as I know, they haven't yet. I think they had to order them, Danny. I know it was.
Because I just bought a brand new bass boat, and I wanted to tie it up and try it out and clean it.
I know it was being worked on, Danny, so I don't know.
Are we talking about cleats to put on the,
So when I bought a new bass boat, I can tie it up and watch the movie. Everybody else has got pontoon boats, I want to do Second.